So you've decided to do a show and you're super excited about it, right? I mean, what better way to challenge yourself both in and out of the gym? What better way to really motivate yourself to see how far you can go when it comes to your physique development? And like anyone who wants to compete, you did your research and you hired a coach. But in the midst of you working with this person, it isn't turning out the way that you feel it should be. Maybe this person doesn't listen to you. Maybe when you ask questions, they immediately shut you down. Maybe you feel like they don't even care. And for some of you out there that are masters competitors, maybe you're over 30 or over 40, maybe you're in your 50s or so, or even greater than that. You feel like your coach pays more attention to the younger competitors than they do you. They don't even take you seriously. And nothing could be more humiliating, nothing could be more frustrating, nothing could be more upsetting than working with someone, paying your money, and they're not showing up for you in the way that you want them to. I have a real gripe with the industry. And that's because everyone and their grandmother calls themselves a coach, but nobody out there is truly coaching. And for someone like myself who's been a personal trainer since 1997, I have been in the trenches. I have worked with men, women of all ages, even children. And I've worked across various sports, but more specifically, contest prep is where I specialize in. And I know that as an athlete myself, as a competitor, and as a fitness professional, a coach is supposed to be someone who brings you to a higher level of self, a higher level of awareness, who pushes you past your limits and shows you what could be possible if you dare to dream, and then you put one step in front of the other to make those dreams come true. And so many in our world right now, so many in our fitness world, so many in the industry, do not take that role seriously. A lot of the times I say that these folks out here are just like glorified programmers. They're just giving out diets and training programs, telling you to check in each week, and pretty much that's it. And a lot of them out there are also not regarding the fact that you are a human being with real feelings, real emotions, who actually has a heart and can be affected by what people say to you. So today's conversation is an important one, and it was inspired by a conversation that I had with someone recently who started working with a coach that was not living up to their standards and expectations, and they felt that because they signed a contract that they had to stick to it. I want to give you some tips about how you can navigate through this, and if you haven't chosen a coach yet, I want to help you to give you some tools about how you can choose the right one for you. Thank you so much for joining me. It's your girl Roxy here. If you are a returning subscriber, I want to thank you so much for coming back and viewing my videos and being such an amazing support with my message and what it is that I have to do and put out there. And if you're completely new, I want to welcome you to my channel. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button right now so that way you don't miss a single video. And also, you've got to click that bell notifications, because when I put new videos out, YouTube will let you know right away so that way you can stay in the loop. For those of you meeting me for the very first time, I want to welcome you. My name is Roxy Beckles, and I'm a fitness professional that has been in the industry for over 21 years. I'm a former IFBB pro, and I had the privilege of competing at the 2014 Olympia in women's physique. And now what I do is I get to follow my passions and do what I love, which is coaching and helping other women to reach their fullest potential within the sport of bodybuilding and within their regular lives, to help them to rewrite their stories and to show them what's possible if they dare to dream big, and make those dreams their reality. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. When it comes to how I work with clients that, or people that want to work with me, potential clients, I never ever take anyone on without getting on a phone call with them and finding out what their goals are, seeing a little bit more about their personalities, and just really ascertaining whether or not we would be a good match to work together. And for so many of you, you are hiring your coaches pretty much sight unseen. And I think it's a huge red flag if you're paying someone each and every month to bring you to a specific level, especially with bodybuilding, which is so specific with the look. And you don't get a chance to talk to that person. Like, everything is online and online only. Now, I know for some fitness professionals, they're not really great at being on the phone, or maybe they don't like to talk to people. But I feel that having a personal connection with your clients helps to build a great foundation for communication and making sure that they feel they have that support. So if that's something that's super important for you when you're looking at who you want to hire, I really do suggest that you get on the phone with the person, talk to them for about 30 minutes, ask them every question that you can have that comes to mind, and really feel if that person and the way that they communicate is going to be the right match for you. And if you do that, sometimes like just that one step at the very beginning can eliminate so many problems down the line. So I encourage you to get on the phone and talk to the person that you are looking to hire. The next tip that I want to share with you is that I really encourage you to do your research. In our day and time, everyone has a paper trail. Everyone has a footprint. And simply Googling the person that you're looking to work with, going to their website, scrolling through their blogs and the things that they've written where they talk about their philosophy, their approach, seeing who their clients are, looking at those people's social media, going back and looking to see, how did those folks place in shows? How did they look and the final product on stage? For a lot of shows, there are pictures everywhere nowadays, so you can actually fully vet a coach before you even hire them. If that coach has a social media page or profile, make sure that you follow them. And make sure that you feel like what they put out there speaks to you and it feels like something that you can get behind. Because at the end of the day, it's you that is hiring this person. And so you want to make sure that you feel comfortable with who you are working with, because trust is the main key factor in this entire relationship that you have with a coach. And if you cannot trust them, you cannot submit to what they're asking you to do and do it fully without question. If at all possible, I would say to not tie yourself into long-term contracts or contracts that don't allow you to have an out, and from a business standpoint, as a coach myself, I personally like to do month-to-month arrangements with my clients, although I do say that if you're going to work with me, you have to be willing to commit to X amount of time. And if you break that time, there is a cancellation fee. But in that respect, it allows a client to move on should they feel they need to. If you're buying a 15, 16, 20 week package in one go without necessarily knowing that person or whether or not that's going to work for you at all, you might get locked into a situation that you simply cannot get out of. And nothing is worse than feeling like you're going to waste your money even though you really feel like this isn't right for you. So speak to that coach. Ask them questions about their packaging. Figure out, if there is a cancellation fee and how you can break the contract if you feel like you're not happy and they're not delivering what they have promised you. I always say that training and coaching, it's kind of like dating, it's kind of like dating in that you have to have the right match, and not everybody is going to mesh. There are some really excellent coaches out there who know their stuff, who are really good, but they're really sharp with their tongue, or they're really short with their words, or, they don't have a lot of patience to deal with a lot of questions or, various things. And, there are some folks out there who are like me, who are so into explaining everything, so into being thorough, so into holding my clients' hands through the process and helping them out. For some people, that doesn't work. So you want to make sure that you're working with someone whose style agrees with how you are and what you need in your core. And that's why having a simple phone conversation with someone is important, because you kind of get the gist of that when you're speaking to them, face to face or on the phone. Heck, you can even ask them questions like, how open are you to answering questions for clients? And asking them I feel like I need a lot of support and hand holding. How do you honestly feel like you can do that for me? Don't be afraid to ask the questions that are really on your mind, that are about helping you to become your best outside of just getting a diet and training program. One of the biggest kickers for me as a coach is when I get emails from people who want to know my opinion about what their coach is giving them. And that's a huge red flag for me. Like, I can pretty much guarantee that any client that works with me has never gone to another coach and said, hey, what do you think about this plan? Am I doing this right? Is this the right thing that I need? Because I'm so much about explaining things, because I feel like the more my clients understand, the better they can execute. And if you find yourself going to another coach to ask about what your coach is doing, there is a huge chasm in trust. Go to your coach and ask them the questions that are on your mind. If they shut you down, then you know there's a problem. Then you know that you might have to cut your losses, even though you might have purchased a big long-term plan, and decide whether or not that's right for you. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, your coach is providing you a service, okay? And they should be providing you their best service. And if you're not getting that, why are you willing to sit there and pay for it? When you're out in the real world and you're being served, let's say you're out at a restaurant and you get horrible service from a waitress, you're not going to tip that person, right? And you might even say something to the manager of the restaurant. Or if you're in a store and a sales associate is really rude to you, you let them know about it. You might even walk out and not spend your money with that establishment. This is the same thing. If you're not being served or serviced well and with care, take your money somewhere else. It's not worth it at the end of the day to risk your sanity and eventually your ability to bring your best to the stage if you feel like your coach isn't bringing their A game, which is what you, of course, would expect. And then finally, I want to wrap this up by shining the light on you, because sometimes the dysfunction goes both ways. Are you someone who is following your plan as you're being asked? Or are you really dilly-dallying around? You're not really following the plan. You're falling off the wagon. You're not reaching out for help. You're sitting back in the background, being silent for whatever reasons. Maybe you feel like you don't want to bother your coach. Maybe you feel like they're busy, so you don't want to be a burden. Maybe you're not really fully committed to what it is that you want to do. So not only do I want you to evaluate what your coach is doing, but I want you to evaluate what you're doing and to be super honest with yourself whether or not you are actually doing the best that you can and feeling like you're not getting a lot of support. Because oftentimes people will sometimes place the blame on someone else without taking responsibility for what it is that they're contributing to when it comes to dysfunction. So ask yourself those pertinent questions. And if you feel like, yeah, I'm doing everything I can, but they're not, then you know it's time to either have a conversation with that person, or if you've already done that and nothing has changed, it might be time for you to find someone else. Well, that's it. I really hope that today's conversation was fruitful for you. I hope that it opened your eyes. If you had some questions about this topic, so many people out there have stories about coaches that just are not what they expected. And I want to let you know that that's okay. I mean, that's just what it is sometimes in the consumer marketplace. But if you really do your due diligence to do your research before you hire someone, I think that you'll be in a much better position. And if you are in a place right now where you are ready to go ahead and move forward with your goals of stepping on stage, whether you compete in figure, whether you compete in fitness, women's physique, or wellness, I want to talk to you. Come on over to my website, rockstarfitness.com/clarity call, so that way you can set up a 30-minute call with me and talk to me and decide whether or not you and I working together will be a possibility. Now, here's the thing. I love it when people do research before they talk to me. So please go to my website, poke around, get on my email list, make sure that you really feel that what I have to offer is right up your alley. Now, I work with competitors and non-competitors alike, so if you're watching this video and you're not sure if you want to compete, or if you're not really close to that goal yet, but you do know that there is some work that needs to be done before you even get there, and you still want to work with me, I want to go ahead and talk to you too. rockstarfitness.com/clarity call. Set up that 30-minute call so that way we can discuss what you need and where we want to go with things from there. If you're brand new competing, or maybe you're someone who's seasoned, you have experience, but you like to gather as much information around the topic that you can, I want to invite you to download my free ebook, my Rockstar Fitness Contest Prep Crash Course. Come on by my website. I'll put the link for you in the description of this video. On YouTube, it'll be on the little I circle at the top here. Go ahead and enter your email address and I'll send you my free ebook, plus some really great extras, videos, podcasts, articles, and more, all about how you can go about doing your prep in the healthiest and smartest way. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell notifications so that way you don't miss a single video, and please thumbs up this video too. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.